Welcome. In this episode, we will see how to manage resource access with RBAC, that is role-based access control. In this session, we will cover how to configure RBAC to control access to Azure resources effectively and also ensure security by using best practices. So let's get started. So how to configure RBAC to control access to a resource? Well, first you will define the roles. Here you can use built-in roles like owner role, contributor, reader, and many more. Or you can also create your custom role tailored to a specific access needs. Then assign role to a user. Here, you can actually assign a role to a specific user at the subscription level, resource group level, or even a resource level for more granular control. Now, who can access what? You will decide that. Principle of least privilege must be followed. Here you will grant only the minimum privilege or permission required for that user to perform their job or their task. This reduces the risk of security breaches in the future. Then we have role assignment. Well, roles are now assigned to a specific user or group of user, or you can even assign the role to the whole service principal to manage access across resources. Once everything is done, then you will just sit back and monitor the access. So you will do the auditing, and you should do it regularly. Here you can use Azure activity logs to track role assignments and changes, ensuring compliance and providing an audit trail. Now, what are some best practices for assigning roles and permissions? Well, the first logical thing is use least privilege principle. Again, we have already discussed most of this thing, so it will be a recap for you. Here, you will ensure that users only have the permissions they need to reduce potential security risk. You should also use built-in roles first. Start by using built-in role to meet standard access needs. Only create custom role if absolutely necessary, because if you create a custom role, there is a chance to make manual errors. So keep it low. Assign role at the right level. Here you will assign the role at resource group level or resource level. Or not just that, you can also apply the role on subscription level for more fine-tuned access control. But remember, if you apply it on a subscription level, it will get inherited to all the resource groups or resources under that. So please put the role at the right level. Then review role assignment regularly at a set frequency. Here you will conduct periodic audits of role assignment and remove any unnecessary access to maintain security posture. Use groups for easier management. Yes, you can assign a role to a user, but you should assign role to Entra ID groups to streamline permission management across multiple users in the future. If you add more users to the group, they will automatically get the role. If you remove the user or the user is gone, is deleted, again, that user will never have any permissions. The permission is applied to the group. So let's go to our lab and assign some RBAC roles to our resource group and see how easy it is to work with it. I will see you in the lab.
All right, now let's figure out how we can manage access to our resources using RBAC. If you pay attention, I already have a resource group with multiple resources all up and running inside it. And I am the sole owner of all these resources, so I have to manage everything. Now, what if I want to delegate this task to other team members or my employees, right? So I can do that. Let's actually give a privilege to a demo user. This demo user will act like a different employee. And the privilege I want to give to this demo user is to be able to see the whole structure, So, what if you want this demo user to audit your infrastructure? You don't want this user to change anything. So, to do that, I can make that user the reader of these three resource group. Or I can simply make that user the reader of my subscription. So anything under my subscription, that user will be able to at least read or see the stuff. Now, over here, I will just focus on my resource group, that is demo. So if you want to give someone privilege using RBAC, you have to find access control IAM. All right. And if I go to role assignments, this will just tell you that what roles are already assigned. As you can see, I am the owner. Don't worry about the other account. These are my root accounts. So I am the sole owner over here. And nobody else is the reader. So what will I do now? I can add a role assignment. Which role I want to assign, you have to search for it. I want to assign reader. Click next, and then assign it to some user or group, or maybe a service, but you have to find it. In my case, that will be demo user 1. And it is assigned. Click next. Do you want to make this user eligible to be able to ask for this assignment? No, I want to give this assignment permanently. So I can do that. Or you can also put a TTL, time to live. After this time, the privilege will be expired. But this is just a demo. So permanent is fine because I'm going to delete my infrastructure anyhow. And assign it. That's all. That's how easy it is. Now, let me log in as that user in my sandbox. So I need that user's credentials. So that is demo user 1. This is the credential, the user principal name. I will copy it. And let's log in. All right. So if this user search for, let's say, subscription, nothing to see here. Okay. What about resource group? Nothing to see here as well. But we remember we assigned it. So when you assign a permission, if you check that in just the next second, you might not be able to see that. So please give it some time. Maybe wait for a minute or two. If you're still not able to see the resources, try log out and log in. And here you go. I have this demo over here. Will this user be able to see all the resources? The answer is yes. This user can also see the structure and the permission and everything inside it. Can this user go to the resource level? Yes, this user can. He can open the machine, can check the configuration and everything about it. Can this user monitor? Of course, this user can also monitor. But can this user make any changes? Can I stop this machine? The answer should be no, because this user only have the privilege to read your infrastructure or your data. So that was your read privilege for a user. All right, now let's check out how to assign higher privileges to the user. So let's go back to our infrastructure, and we already have a demo user. So instead of assigning a read permission, can we assign a higher privilege permission on a specific resource? Yes, we can. So this user can actually read my infrastructure, that is fine. But what if I want to authorize this user, this demo user, to be able to maintain or manage my machine or manage my skill set? Yes, I can do that as well. For that, you have to go to the resource level. Remember, all the resources are under a resource group. So if you apply a permission on resource group level, it will get inherited. So I can actually go to the resource level, that is my skill set. and let's click on Add Role Assignment. Now, instead of using a job level privilege, on top you will see a subcategory called Privileged Administrator Roles. Over here you have roles like Owner, Contributor, Role-Based Access Control Admin, RBAC Admin, User Access Administrator. Over here I want to assign this user Contributor role because I don't want this demo user to be able to change my permission set or to actually kick me out of the ownership or make his or her friend the owner of this resource. In short, I do not want this demo user to change privileges. Rest, this user will be able to do everything. So I will select that, click Next, select Member, Demo User, 1, select that, click Next, and Assign. So this actually shows that yes, you can have multiple privileges assigned at multiple level for the same person. It is possible. But in that, please remember the hierarchy. Do not apply the higher privilege role on the top level. It will get inherited. So let's see the effects. Now, if this user goes to resource group, can this user create a new resource or let's say delete the resource group? The answer is no, this user should not be able to delete it. Here's the error, because this user only have read access till this level. How about a virtual machine? Because virtual machine is part of VMSS, virtual machine skill set. Let's see, can this user stop the machine from here? Nope, this user cannot stop the machine from this point, means from Azure virtual machines. How about VMSS? Can this user now stop the machine over here? Let's try. And the answer is, of course. So here you can also see one more fact that even though if a resource is dependent on other resources, means multiple resources are interconnected, giving privilege on one service do not automatically give this user privilege over every other dependencies. It is specific to a single service. All right. So even though this user cannot stop the machine directly, but from virtual machine scale set, the user can initiate that. So I hope now you understand that RBAC is a very powerful service or tool. And for a good security posture, RBAC can be used by every company to create security boundaries or isolations. Thank you.
Welcome back. I hope the lab was clear. I know that you already know what RBAC is and how to apply it and what are resource groups. But with this lab, you also looked how we can connect or integrate multiple resources or resource groups and RBAC permissions together to create a very secure environment in the first place. So to summarize, we covered how RBAC in Azure allow you to control access to resources by assigning role at different levels. By applying the principle of least privilege and following the best practices, such as using built-in roles first and also reviewing the assignments regularly, you can manage security efficiently and effectively. Thanks for joining us. I will see you in the next episode. Take care.